Do you know what Bank of America's head analyst just said? Investors should sell any rallies in the S&P 500 until the U.S. and China de-escalate the global trade war and the Federal Reserve steps in. According to Bank of America's Michael Hartnett, the strategist said tariffs and the resulting market turmoil were turning U.S. exceptionalism into U.S. repudiation. He recommends a short position on stocks until the S&P 500 hits 4,800 points and a long bet on 2-year treasuries. Higher bond yields, lower stocks, and a weaker dollar are driving global asset liquidation, which will likely force policymakers to act. But investors should sell the rips into risk assets. The U.S. markets are not trading in the last couple of weeks like their traditional developed safe haven status, said Philip Colmar at MRB Partners. They're trading more like a weak emerging market country. We're seeing the dollar really slide, and we're seeing the bond market get threatened here. How do I translate capitalist to normie? The capitalists are saying America is becoming a third world country. That is what trading like weak emerging market country means. Bond market get threatened. What that means is interest rates are going to soar. I hope you don't need to buy a car or a house because interest rates are going up. Now, these are just guys and their opinions. Friday brought a fresh signal that consumers were queasy even before Wednesday's policy shift, with a plunge in sentiment as inflation expectations soared to multi-decade highs. With tariffs at levels now set to halt most trade between the world's biggest economies, the concern now is that the economic fight could spill into other areas. China retaliated against Trump's tariffs by hiking duties on all U.S. goods while calling the administration's actions a joke and saying it no longer considers them worth matching. Shares of chip makers with U.S. manufacturing plummeted. Tesla stopped taking orders in China for the Model S sedans and Model X sport utility vehicles, both of which are imported from the U.S. Meantime, JP Morgan Chase & Co. stock traders took in a record haul, boosted by chaotic market moves set off by policy announcements. Wow, JP Morgan's traders? They were insider trading? What do you know? Woo! JP Morgan Chief Executive Officer Jamie Dimon said he expects a kerfuffle in the treasury market because of all the rules and regulations. When that happens, the Fed will step in, but not until they start to panic a little bit. JP Morgan's CEO says we need to see some panic. Bank of America says, oh yeah, this is going to crash. And another person says America is like a third world nation. Everything is going really great.